Master Hans set up a simple drill. Walk forward, he would attack lightly from different angles, and I would respond. The first time I tried to remember techniques, my mind started flipping through its filing cabinet. Was that a parry, a block, a polite apology? I hesitated. Master Han lightly tapped my shoulder and I stumbled. Too slow, he said, not unkindly. You are thinking, not responding. He showed me again. Minimal movement, right timing, no drama. Adapt, he said. Do not insist. We repeated the drill. This time I stopped trying to execute the perfect response and instead focused on one thing: stay balanced. When a push came, I turned. When a tap came, I yielded. When he stepped in, I stepped out. It felt like learning to converse with chaos instead of arguing with it. And it made me think about my life outside the courtyard, how I cling to plans as if they're flotation devices. When the plan changes, I panic because I'm attached not just to the outcome, but to the idea that I'm safe only when things go as expected. Adaptive response taught me a gentler truth. Safety can come from skill, not certainty. From flexibility, not control. From the ability to adjust without self-punishment. Also, it taught me something deeply practical. If I stop freezing every time life surprises me, I will fall down less, physically and emotionally. That evening, I sat alone near the stream. I wasn't meditating in a heroic way. I was mostly sitting because sitting is underrated. I noticed how different I felt compared to when I arrived. Not new me, not perfect me, just more whole. Like my body and mind had stopped being roommates who passive-aggressively label the fridge shelves. Before this retreat, my spirit was always somewhere else, trying to be better, faster, more acceptable. My body was left behind, carrying tension like unpaid emotional rent. Training had been a steady reconciliation, breath pulling the mind down, posture lifting the heart up, movement teaching my thoughts to stop sprinting. Master Han sat beside me and said, "You look more integrated." I blinked. "Do I look less like a floating stress balloon?" He smiled. "Yes, more like a person." Integration, I realized, isn't a mystical achievement. It's an ongoing agreement inside yourself. I won't abandon you. It's letting your body be a home, not a machine. Letting your spirit be present, not always escaping into fantasies of future improvement. For emotional well-being, this was everything. When body and spirit cooperate, feelings don't have to scream to be heard. They can speak normally, and you can listen without collapsing. The next morning, Master Han had us do partner work again, but this time he emphasized timing over technique. "Do not rush," he said. "Do not delay. Enter when the door opens." I laughed. My life has mostly been me trying to enter when the door is closed and then taking it personally. He nodded, as if I'd just recited a classic text. In the drill, whenever I tried to act early, anticipating, Master Han neutralized me easily. Whenever I waited too long, the moment was gone. But when I relaxed and watched, I could feel the opening, a slight shift in weight, a tiny gap, a breath. Natural timing felt like surfing. You don't command the wave, you sense it and ride it. Emotionally, this hit hard. I rush healing, I rush decisions, I rush people. I want reassurance on demand, clarity immediately, closure delivered like same-day shipping. Natural timing reminded me that life has rhythms, seasons, cycles unfolding whether I approve or not. It taught me patience without passivity. Show up, be ready, and let the moment ripen. Trying to force timing is like pulling on a plant to make it grow. You don't get a faster harvest, you get a broken stem. Master Han said, "Work hard, but look easy." I said, "I can work hard and look exhausted. That is my signature move." He laughed. "Effortless effort is not pretending. It is removing the unnecessary." He had me repeat a short sequence. Step, turn, deflect, strike, again and again. The first few times I used too much muscle. My shoulders rose, my breath got choppy, my face developed the expression of someone trying to open a stubborn jar. "Too much," he said, touching my shoulder until it dropped. "Do less, align more." I tried again. I focused on structure, breath, timing. The movement became cleaner. I wasn't trying harder, I was trying truer, and suddenly it felt smooth, like the technique was doing itself. That's effortless effort, showing up fully without strangling the process. It's competence without tension. It's the calm focus of someone who isn't auditioning for approval. I'm now diving into the next segment of this exploration, items 12 through 15. The focus is narrowing to include Wing Chun. I'm aiming to refine these selections and ensure they are appropriately ranked in terms of their significance. The objective is to identify how these items fit within the broader context and narrative. I'm now delving into the intricate nature of Wing Chun and Wuji. The goal is to brainstorm angles for humor and emotional well-being, specifically focusing on the narrator's experience. Wing Chun will cover close quarters efficiency and boundaries, while Wuji offers a chance to explore the mental reset and relief that comes with emptiness. The humor will come from personal space woes and the freedom of being blank. I'm presently focusing on Chen-style Tai Chi and meridians. The humor in Chen involves bipolar yoga, explosive movements startling wildlife, and meridian blockages being like body traffic jams. The well-being aspect is linked to controlled release and the idea that everything is interconnected, addressing the narrative's themes. I'm also drafting a new chapter with the sticky hands drill, which is a key part of Wing Chun. I'm now zeroing in on the centerline concept of Wing Chun, thinking about how to frame it in a relatable way. The joke will be about the chain punch looking silly but being effective. The emotional benefit will be about calm, even when chaos is right there. I'm also now ready to draft the next chapter, exploring the Wuji concept as a mental reset. The humor will come from the narrator's struggle with stillness, contrasting with their usual need for constant stimulation. The emotional takeaway is acceptance of emptiness. In Chen style, I am exploring the Fa Jin with explosive power, which will contrast with the slow Yang. I'm now zeroing in on the concept of meridians, focusing on the narrator's experience. My focus is on the emotional resonance. The narrator feels strange tingles, a possible magic or pinched nerve. The joke is to imagine my gallbladder channel as the source of road rage. It shows how the narrator's emotional payoff comes from keeping the energy flowing. This will prevent burnout in the process. I am also checking the tone, perspective, and formatting. The mountain air was getting crisp and my legs were getting stronger, or at least they had stopped filing formal complaints with my brain every time I stood up. Here is the next entry in my retreat diary. Protect your center line, Master Han said, drawing a line down the middle of his chest with a chalky finger. This is your VIP section. Do not let the chaos in. We were practicing Wing Chun, a style famous for close quarters combat. Master Han introduced me to Chi Sao, or sticky hands. It sounds like something that happens after eating a cinnamon bun, but it's actually a sensitivity drill where you keep contact with your partner's forearms to predict their movement. You are too tense, he noted as our arms rolled back and forth. You are trying to push me away. Wing Chun is not about pushing, it is about accepting the force and guiding it to the exit. I tried to relax. Suddenly, Master Han's hand darted toward my chest, stopping an inch from my nose. I flinched so hard I nearly backflipped into the koi pond. Reflexes, he cheered. I realized Wing Chun is the ultimate lesson in setting boundaries. It teaches you that you don't need big, dramatic gestures to handle life's problems. You just need to guard your heart, literally and metaphorically, stay efficient, and when negativity tries to invade your personal bubble, you politely but firmly deflect it into the nearest bush. Before we move, Master Han instructed, we must stand in Wuji. Is that a stance? I asked. It is the absence of stance. It is the void before the Big Bang. It is you, before you remembered you have a mortgage. I stood there, arms hanging loosely, knees slightly bent, mind blank. Usually my brain is like a browser with 47 tabs open and 3 of them are playing music I can't identify. But Wuji demanded I close the tabs. At first, the silence was terrifying. Who am I if I'm not worrying about tomorrow's lunch? But then a strange comfort settled in. Wuji is the infinite potential of zero. It's the relief of an empty calendar. Enjoy the nothingness, Master Han whispered. It is the only place where you don't have to be on. For a solid 5 minutes, I was nobody. I wasn't a stressed employee, I wasn't a clumsy student, I was just a human-shaped pause button. It was glorious. I need to focus on writing the next chapters, specifically 37 to 40. I want to include some humor and emphasize emotional well-being while sticking to a first-person perspective. It's interesting that Mantis has already covered chapter 35, but the user wants 40 from the perspective of the praying mantis again, perhaps with a different angle. I'll ensure to keep the jokes light and soft. Let's get started on those chapters. Master Han announced monkey style, and my inner child immediately stood up, brushed off their knees, and said, finally, something I'm already emotionally qualified for. Monkey style was low, springy, mischievous, full of sudden direction changes, feints, and the kind of footwork that says, you can't predict me, and honestly, neither can I. Master Han demonstrated a sequence that involved hopping, crouching, and a quick hand flick that looked like he was snatching a snack from the air. Monkey is playful, he said. Playfulness is not weakness. I tried it and discovered an uncomfortable truth. I am much more comfortable being competent than being playful. Competent gets applause. Playful risks looking foolish. My anxiety loves a controlled environment. Monkey style set up a bounce house in my brain and invited uncertainty to take its shoes off. At one point, I misjudged a hop and landed in a squat so deep, my ancestors briefly contacted me. I looked up, ready to apologize for existing. Master Han just nodded. Good recovery. Monkey does not mourn the mistake. Monkey moves. That line stayed with me. I tend to collect mistakes like souvenirs, polishing them, labeling them, revisiting them at 2 o'clock a.m. Monkey style offered a different therapy plan. Respond, adapt, continue. No self-harassment required. Later, when I caught myself spiraling over something minor, did I sound weird when I said thanks? I tried the monkey method. Make a face, shake it off, move on. My problems didn't vanish, but they did get confused, like they were trying to chase a squirrel that suddenly remembered it had places to be. The next day, Master Han handed me a ceramic jar with a narrow neck. Open it, he said. I tried. The lid didn't budge. He watched kindly. Again, I tried harder. Still nothing. My forearm started negotiating with my life choices. Then he showed me eagle claw, hand shapes designed for seizing, controlling, and precise gripping. We trained by grabbing, twisting, holding, releasing. It wasn't flashy, it was brutally honest. Either you had the structure or you didn't. The jar certainly had opinions. As we practiced, I realized I use my grip emotionally too. I grip conversations, outcomes, other people's moods, my own reputation. Like, if I just hold tightly enough, nothing will fall apart. But the tighter I grip, the more I ache. Master Han corrected my hand. Strong fingers, soft wrist. Do not strangle life. I laughed, then paused because, yes, that's exactly what I do. I strangle life with expectations and then wonder why it feels tense. Eagle claw gave me a healthier version of control, strong when necessary, but able to release. That became my new mental cue. When I felt myself clenching around a worry, I'd think, strong fingers, soft wrist, hold what matters, loosen what doesn't. Also, I eventually opened the jar. It contained dried plums. Enlightenment tastes like fruit you have to earn. Strength is usually defensiveness, snapping back, putting up walls, getting sharp. But Master Han's strength was different. It was a boundary wrapped in a hug. It said, I will not let you hurt me, but I will not destroy you to prove it. I practiced blocking with this mindset. Instead of thinking, go away, I thought, stop here. It felt cleaner. It felt powerful. It turns out you can be a badass and a sweetheart at the exact same time. Do the cloud hands movement, Master Han said, 1,000 times. 1,000? I asked, like consecutively. Unless you have somewhere to be, he smiled. By repetition 50, I was bored. By repetition 200, I was annoyed. By repetition 500, I was composing a mental essay on the inefficiency of traditional pedagogy. But somewhere around repetition 700, my brain finally gave up. It got tired of complaining and went offline. And that's when the magic happened. My hands started moving on their own. The tension in my neck vanished. I wasn't doing the move anymore. The move was just happening. Ah, Master Han whispered, walking by. The mind has finally gone to sleep. Now the body can learn. I realized that so much of my anxiety comes from over-intellectualizing everything. I try to think my way through feelings or analyze my way to relaxation. But some wisdom only enters when the brain shuts up. Repetition wasn't a punishment. It was a lullaby for my neuroticism. By the 1,000th rep, I felt empty in the best way. I didn't have any new thoughts, but I understood the movement perfectly. Wisdom, it seems, is what's left after you run out of complaints. You are a guitar string, Master Han told me. I looked down at my outfit. Is it the stripes? No, your energy. Too loose, no music, too tight, snap. He poked my arm. Here, you are rigid. You are protecting yourself from imaginary tigers. Then he poked my legs. Here you are collapsed. You have given up on gravity. Finding the balance was maddening. If I relaxed, I turned into a puddle. If I focused, I turned into a statue. It is alert relaxation, he explained, like a cat watching a bird. The cat is soft but ready. I tried to channel cat energy. I softened my joints but kept my structure held up by intention. Suddenly, I felt it, a hum of energy. I wasn't fighting gravity, but I wasn't surrendering to it either. I was riding it. Emotionally, this was the cure for my burnout. Burnout happens when I'm too tight, anxiety, or too loose, apathy. The sweet spot is engagement without strain. It's caring about the outcome, but not gripping it so hard my knuckles turn white. Good, Master Han said. You are now tuned. Try not to snap before lunch. We sat for tea. Master Han looked at me and asked, Who are you when you are not thinking? My brain immediately panicked. It started drafting a resume. I am a writer. I am a sibling. I am a person who enjoys tacos. I opened my mouth to recite my prepared identity. Master Han held up a hand. Don't look in the filing cabinet. Look in the room. I paused. I stopped searching for the right answer. I took a breath. I looked at the steam rising from the tea. I don't know, I said. And then, surprisingly, I laughed. I'm just here. Master Han clapped. Correct. Spontaneous wisdom. He explained that we usually filter our wisdom through layers of shoulds and supposed tos. We edit ourselves before we even speak. But real wisdom, Z, is instantaneous. It's that gut feeling you ignore because it doesn't have citations. Trust the first flash, he said. The second flash is usually just your ego trying to look smart. I walked away from the tea table feeling lighter. I didn't need to have all the answers prepared. I just needed to trust that when the moment came, the answer would be there too. And if it wasn't, well, I don't know, is a pretty wise answer too. This is reality. Reality is a pizza, yes. And you have been trying to make the whole pizza career topping. The idea wasn't to fix each one, but to see where I was out of balance. My life was all career and knowledge, with a tiny, withered olive representing relationships. My creativity slice was just crust. I wasn't a failure, I was just unbalanced. The Bagua map didn't give me a to-do list, it gave me a compass. Maybe pay attention to this other slice for a while, maybe add a little kindness to the family section. I wrote a letter to a friend. I didn't earn a promotion or achieve enlightenment, but I did feel whole, like my personal pizza finally had more than one flavor. Today, we practice inner alchemy. I immediately pictured bubbling cauldrons and mystical ingredients. Instead, he had me sit, breathe into my belly, and visualize. Mix the fire of the heart with the water of the body. I tried. My mind produced an image of a very confused internal barbecue. Bring the agitated energy of your mind down to the calm, deep energy of your core. I'd been living entirely from the neck up, where the fire of anxiety burns all the fuel. By breathing down into my belly, the water, I was basically creating steam, not explosive steam, more like a gentle, steady power. I felt less scattered, more centered. The constant buzzing in my brain turned into a low hum. I realized I'd been searching for energy in all the wrong places: coffee, sugar, external validation, when I had a perfectly good brewery inside me all along. It just required me to sit down, shut up, and let things simmer. They were also drinking mercury. That was a learning opportunity for everyone who came after. I do this all the time, just with less mercury. I look for the one book that will fix my anxiety, the one diet that will give me perfect health, the one habit that will make me a new person. There is no magic pill. There is only practice, patience, and not ingesting things you find in a dusty old scroll. I walked away feeling a strange sense of relief. I didn't have to find the perfect external solution. I just had to keep showing up, breathing, and being kind to myself. Master Han asked, "Do you want to be immortal? Not if I have to keep doing all this." The quest for immortality is not about avoiding death. It is about living a life you want to continue. The ancient Taoists weren't just chasing endless years. They were cultivating a quality of life so vibrant, so peaceful, so connected that the thought of it ending felt like a shame. Am I living a life that feels worth sustaining, or am I just running on a hamster wheel hoping for a different view? The immortality quest became my new metric for self-care. It wasn't about anti-aging creams or fad diets. It was about choosing things that made me feel more alive right now. A walk in nature, a good conversation, a moment of quiet, A really good cup of tea. I didn't find the secret to living forever, but I did find the secret to living today a little better. Master Han announced, "Today we practice Iron Shirt Qigong." My nervous system immediately pictured a medieval suit of armor and me clanking down the mountain like an anxious tin can. He had me stand still, feet rooted, breath dropping into my belly. Then he began tapping my torso, light at first, then firmer, like he was checking a watermelon for ripeness. "Relax," he said. "You are hitting me," I whispered, as if pointing this out might change the laws of the lesson. "Yes," he replied, cheerful, "but you are not bracing, you are receiving." This was deeply personal because bracing is basically my full-time hobby. I brace for bad news, for awkward conversations, for the future, for the past, for the possibility that my hair will do something humiliating in a photo. Iron Shirt wasn't about becoming a human brick, it was about learning to build structure without panic, breathing into pressure instead of tensing against it. When I did it correctly, the tapping didn't feel like an attack. It felt like weather, something passing through. "Strong body, soft heart," Master Han said. "If you harden the heart, you become brittle." And that's when it hit me. Toughness isn't clenching your jaw and pretending nothing hurts. Toughness is staying open while life thumps you on the ribs a little, metaphorically, preferably, then still choosing kindness after. I walked away feeling sturdier, like my boundaries had upgraded from wet paper bag to respectable wicker basket. The next session was called Spontaneous Movement. Master Han explained it like it was the most normal thing in the world. "Stand," he said, "breathe, and let the body move." I waited. Nothing happened. Apparently my body had union rules and required written notice. I tried to let go, which, if you've ever tried to fall asleep by commanding yourself to fall asleep, you know is the exact method for not letting go. My mind started managing the situation like an anxious stage director. Maybe sway gently. No, that looks fake. What if I twitch? Is twitching allowed? Are we twitching today? Then, without permission, my shoulders rolled, my arms floated up like they were following music only they could hear. My torso made a small spiral. It felt silly. And then it felt relieving, like finally scratching an itch I didn't know I'd had for years. I glanced around, expecting judgment. Dave was gently bobbing like seaweed. Another student was doing something that looked like interpretive dance titled "My Lower Back Has Opinions." Nobody looked cool, everybody looked free. That's when I understood the emotional lesson. Spontaneity isn't being random, it's trusting your own signals. It's giving your body a vote, after years of treating it like a taxi, useful, silent, and expected to run on fumes. Later, Master Han said, "When the body moves honestly, the mind softens." I wrote that down. Then my body spontaneously requested a snack, and for once I listened without negotiating. That afternoon, someone whispered the words I'd been waiting to hear like a campfire ghost story: empty force. A small group gathered near the training hall, a visiting practitioner, very calm, very confident, wearing the expression of someone who has never been startled by an unexpected email, said he could project force without touching. My inner child leaned forward, my inner adult crossed their arms and asked where the consent forms were. The visitor demonstrated with a volunteer who, after a few dramatic gestures and a sharp exhale, stumbled backward and fell, looking genuinely surprised, like their legs had received an eviction notice. I whispered to Master Han, "Is this real?" Master Han's eyes crinkled. "Many things are real experiences," he said carefully. "Not all are proven mechanisms." Which was the most monk-like way I've ever heard someone say, maybe, but also maybe not. He pulled me aside and spoke softly, like he was protecting both my wonder and my common sense. "Some people respond to suggestion, expectation, group energy," he said. "Some are trained to yield dramatically to learn sensitivity, and sometimes a person simply wants to believe because believing feels like hope." That landed in my chest with unexpected tenderness, because honestly, I get it. When life feels heavy, we crave miracles. Anything that says we aren't stuck with gravity, bills, and our own coping skills. Master Han continued, "But your well-being must rest on what you can practice daily. Breath, kindness, posture, attention. Mystery can inspire you. It should not replace you." I didn't volunteer to be knocked over by invisible force. My nervous system has enough surprise.